Hey everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and I'm finally doing it. Finally going after weeks of telling you guys I was going to do it, bringing you Mojo from the X-Men Sentinel Battle Diorama by Iron Studios. Now, for a few weeks, I've been telling you I was going to brave the challenge of putting this one together, and I've kind of just gotten delayed. I have been giving you guys some really cool, smaller proxy pieces to kind of just make up for the lack of doing this one. Those of you who know anything about this, everybody I know who's put it together and gotten it said it is a pain in the butt to put together. So, while I go and I try to assemble this guy here on camera, I'm going to be quiet probably. I'm going to fast forward through a lot. I'm going to speed it up just in case the process does take a lot of guessing, because from what I understand is all the legs that kind of attach to him all look the same, and they are all slotted differently, but nothing is really labeled as to like where it is in the box and where it goes on the statue. So a lot of people, from what I understand, that have assembled him had a difficult time. Now, I think previously the only one I really had problems putting together was Quicksilver, just because all his little pieces didn't seem to want to go in the right way. And, you know, his foot peg actually didn't go in all the way, so he was a little loose. But other than that, I haven't had any problems assembling any of these yet. So Mojo has been something of an anomaly, and I've just been a little intimidated to try to put him together. So you guys can laugh at me and join in the misery. We're gonna check this one out today, and as you can see, the box is, well, he's very heavy. It's huge. Apocalypse's box was very big. I think this actually may be bigger. So I'm going to try to make sure that I get everything in frame. I don't even know if my turnstile is going to be big enough for his base, but we're going to find out together. If it's not, I'll just put it together on the table here and kind of walk around it for you guys when I show them off. So we're gonna do the usual. We're gonna see the box. Honestly, I'm not gonna do the usual where I do this and kind of spin it around, because it is so big that I'm not going to be able to get much of it in the camera. So I'm just going to show you right here. Obviously, we've got the Iron Studios Mojo. We've got our Worlds to Collect, the new catchphrase here of Iron Studios. And over here on the back, we've got the full-on statue of what you're going to be expecting. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on with this one. Back of the box, or the side of the box over here, we've got Mojo. And it is heavy, so I'm not going to risk tipping it upside down to show you the top. It just says X-Men and Mojo. So I'm going to get that out of the way right now, because again, this box is massive, and we're just going to pull out this foam, cut it up, and hopefully have some good luck putting him together. So I'm going to take this out of the box and be right back. All right, so as you can see, I am kind of far away right now because, again, the foam and everything is so big. Now, Mojo did come with some instructions, an actual hardback kind of book, basically showing you where everything goes and numbering all the parts. So, and even giving you step by step what to put where. So I am going to actually follow this to the T, and hopefully get them put together without any trouble. So again, I already cut this, and I'm going to try now to wiggle this loose. Again, there is a lot to this boy. So I'm going to kind of lift it up here. As you can see, there is a lot of pieces. Hopefully this is all in frame again, because this is a huge piece. The base is right here. It looks like I can see his belly right here, giving a little belly rub. See his giant tail right here. and we're going to have all these little proxy piece legs and stuff going on, which is what everyone has kind of had a problem with. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to figure out which one of these is going to go first, because honestly, they don't look any different. So we're going to attempt this. I just want to check. I thought I dropped something, but it was just about the book. I want to just check to make sure you guys are all in frame here before I proceed, because now that I have the large top off the box, I might be able to bring you guys in a little bit closer for trying out this assembly. All right, so I kind of brought the camera down a little bit here just so you guys can still see what's going on up here and hopefully see a little bit of what's happening down here. First things first, I got to check to make sure this is going to fit on here. So I'm going to take out the easy part, and wow, the heavy part is his base. His base is actually very heavy. Holy crap, it's deceptively heavy. This looks like a very tiny thing. Pretty cool. It's all covered in like moss. It looks like a big tree almost. There's a little like a drag mark almost, where probably he's dragging his belly. There's some pipes and stuff right here. Looks like we've got a walkway. We've got two little indents here, which is probably going to be where I'm going to assume some of his little feet are going to plug into. And we have some more over here by the moss here, by the dirt here. So there's little indents that you'll notice when you're looking around. And I'm going to try to bring it in a little bit for you. There's little indents everywhere. And you're not going to be able to see them really that well, but there's indents right like over here where his feet are going to go into. And there is obviously one key right here in the center. And this does just fit right here on the turntable. So I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to pull him off of this once he's assembled, but we're going to try it out. So first step it tells us to do is put Mojo on the base. So let's see. Oh God, he is ugly. Oh my God. So be very careful pulling him out. I'll let you guys see him right here. He is an ugly mother. Be very careful. He does have sharp nails, so be careful when you pull it all out. And he has one giant leg attached. He's this big old blobby thing of a individual. I heard something. Sounds like there's something shaking around inside of his belly. But as I don't see anything, I don't see anything broken. I don't see anything loose. But you can hear almost like a rattle-like thing. So he does have a peg right here. And I'm going to assume that that's going to go. I think he just went in. Okay, I think he just went in pretty good. You kind of got to push him down a little bit. And then again, I'm going to show you guys right here real quick. His claw, his little leg does fit into a groove right here. So, okay. I thought I was going to have to shave some paint down again, but I didn't yet. So, this is what he's looking like on the base so far. All right, so here's where I'm going to just get quiet and start trying to figure all this out, because there are a bunch of these legs. Now, this one looks like a big leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these out, because I think some of these might be bigger than the other, or no, they are not. Okay, so these are all the same size. Now, they're all the same size. They all look the same. So, and their pegs are all the same as well. So personally, I don't know if it's really going to make a big difference as to how you put these in. But we're going to find out, because, again, there are a lot of these legs. Aha. So there is what looks like a machine gun right here, trying to kind of figure out what's what. And we've got another kind of a chain gun. It looks like we've got got a small little stabby claw. We got a small little stabby claw here. So I don't know if this is going to be that difficult. It looks like we've just got a couple of big legs, and they all have the same pegs. So it looks like we've got 3 of these big legs. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to plug these in right now. Thanks to our handy dandy instruction manual. And don't mind the silence, because again, I'm probably going to fast forward through a lot of this. I'm going to try this instead. So these are a little difficult to put in. So I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. See if this works, and if it doesn't, we'll take them apart again. But I think these are going to go in a lot easier. Oh my God, so much easier when I don't have to push anything into it. Yeah. Aha. Figured that one out. Okay. So I figured one out. Took a little while. Figured which one went in there. So there are specific ones that will fit specifically. Alrighty. So step 2 is done. Let's see for step 3 and 4. Okay, so it's just saying to put these guys in. So let's see. We've got another one. So there's already one attached. Oh, okay. So weird, because I did get this one brand new. But this leg, as you saw in the video, was already attached. So that's part of the instructions, which is what was throwing me off, because the instructions are saying that there's 4 of these to attach, but there's not. This one was actually, as you guys saw, already attached to Mojo. So I'm not going to attempt to pull it off, but I'm going to just say, hey, that's what was supposed to go, and that's it. And the final one is going to go on the back. So let's just see. I don't, right now, once I figured this out, this doesn't seem to be too bad. Not really. So I think that one's in as well. Might have to tighten them all up, but that's his 4 legs. I think I got them where they're supposed to go. They look kind of like they're supposed to go there. They are fitting against him fine. So now he has 2 little grabber claws here that are going to go in his front. I believe these are going to go in his front. That is the front of Mojo, correct? Yes. It's hard to see because they're actually angling it from the top. So it's like, oh wait, that's his big belly right there. Yep, okay, so we're good to go. So this actually isn't as complicated as people were making it out to be, but I can definitely see where this is a pain in the butt. Again, I am working on getting a second camera so I can kind of have you guys on both sides seeing my frustration and seeing the actual assembly, but not yet. I have to wait until I redo my statue room. Boom. Okay, so that went in perfectly too. Honestly, so far so good. Once I figured out that I wasn't missing a 4th leg. So we've got Mojo's giant cannons right here. So let's see. Is there a specific one for a specific side? I think they look identical. So these bad boys. Okay, hold on. So one has an angled key and one has a straight key. So I think the one at the angle may be this one or this one. Okay. So there is one that has an angle to it. So you kind of have to look again and see where you're placing these. We've got Mojo's cannons. So again, so far not too painless to put together. Again, figuring out the legs, especially when one was attached to it, a little bit of a pain in the butt. Now we're going to go for his big piece, which I think is the last piece. And it is secured very, very, very stable. This is going to be his tail. It's got styrofoam. It's got everything. It's wrapped up. It's, yeah. So take care of that very carefully. This is a little bit of a wobbly piece too. It is very wobbly. This is his tail, obviously. And this is going to plug right into the back. So there's his tail. It is a little wobbly. But that's it. I don't know. This was not as jarring as I was expecting it to be, but holy crap, there's a lot of details in this guy. I mean, I'm sweating, nervous putting this thing together. But here he is. We did it with very minimal difficulties, other than figuring it all out at the very beginning because I am an idiot. But did it. Finally did it, and I'm gonna bring you guys in and give you all these insane amount of little details in this large piece. All right, so as you can see, I mean, I'm definitely zoomed out here because I mean, my hand looks as big as this. That's how far away I am. He is a big piece. He a big ugly guy, but man, he looks really cool. Iron Studios went above and beyond with this piece. I gotta tell you. And again, not as much of a pain in the butt to assemble as I thought. I'm gonna when I bring you guys in, I'll show you guys some of the kind of tricks that I kind of had over here during the things to kind of figure it all out. But he is a massive boy. I mean, with his giant, scorpion tail here and everything else. I'm going to try to angle it up so you can actually see it all better. Again, his legs, all the little mechanical pieces, everything about this. I mean, even like the claw kind of holding his fat in right here. I mean, everything about it is super, super detailed. I did actually up the brightness of the lights a little bit so you guys can get a better look at all the details. So I do apologize if it does flare a little bit bright here and there. So that is it for the 360. I'm going to zoom in now. And I'm going to bring you guys in here and show you all these details because this thing is crazy. As you can see here, as always with these, it's got the kind of the destroyed ground. There's kind of a mossy texture here on the ground, as well as mud, kind of a mud trail dragging from where it looks like he's kind of dragged himself up. Very, very cool. We've got some damaged pipes down over here, along with the moss and stuff like that. Looks kind of like a sewer pipe or something almost, which would make sense with all the kind of moss and stuff like that going on. Now, going up here to the front of Mojo, as you can see, if you remember, one leg was already attached when I unboxed it, so that kind of made the instructions a little more confusing. But once I figured out, how things all fit in, again, some of these had little divots in them, some of them don't, so they could kind of push up against things and kind of fit in. So, yeah, once you figured out which one fit in where, it kind of was easy. And again, since there was only 1, 2, and 3, it was kind of easy to process elimination. These two front ones, the little front grabber hands, his walking hands, his kind of dragging claws, they went in very, very easy. I mean, you can see his big old belly button here. I'm just going to bring you guys in and let you take a look at his ugly mug because, man, they captured Mojo perfectly. Everything about this is the same creepy thing you would expect from Mojo. He's got the mechanical kind of dreads going, kind of stuck into his head. He's got all, I mean, even like, I mean, being a big fat thing, he still has all the muscle details as well here. He's got his clawed hands, he's got his strong hands. You know, everything is really, really detailed, highly detailed, and well done. Every one of these little legs shows some wear on them, you know, like some rust, some wear. There's definitely been some wear and tear on this big boy's body. As you can see again here with the legs, they've kind of got some rust marks, stuff like that. Super, super highly detailed. Again, we've got another fat roll being held in there. This is another one of his rear legs. And again, they all had little kind of holes right here. So if you went to put the leg in and it wasn't fitting in there properly, that's how I guessed that this was the proper foot or the proper claw. So see, they all kind of had a little divot here to go inside of. Now, I'm gonna go over here, and here's his cannons. His cannons are pretty cool. He's got his little Gatling guns. Very, very cool. They're on his back. And again, like I said, this is gonna be a little bit longer because this video, because he has a lot of stuff. He's got kind of his, I don't know if this, I forget if this is his cooling unit or his power unit. I forget which one it is, or both. And obviously you can see that his dreads are kind of powering right into it. It might be his power supply, I forget. Again, here we go to his giant scorpion tail. You can see all the really nicely detailed mechanical aspects of this tail going all the way up. And the only thing that was a little flimsy, it shook a little bit, but once it secured in, it was pretty good. So I'm going to bring you around here to the front. Take a look at his little stabby grabby claw with his guns. Because, you know, he's got a claw, but it's also got cannons inside of it. Again, very highly detailed piece. I'll bring you guys over here, kind of let you take a look at the underside of it. Same as the other part of it as well. And there is his second cannon too. So again, one of these had an angled key and the other one had a straight key. So this one over here had the angled key, and you could see in the hole when you looked, there was an angled hole. This one had a straight hole. So always take a look at the holes before you insert anything into them. Wow, phrasing. But Mojo is definitely sweet. This is an awesome piece. Holy crap. I never really cared to get him, but now that I got him and have unboxed him in all of his glory, I mean, this thing is badass. He is definitely going to be a piece that people look at, especially like me, if you don't have the Sentinels. He's going to be one of your standout pieces that people are going to go, holy crap, like what the hell is that? So I'm going to take you out. I'm going to show you guys a couple of size comparisons before I close out this a little bit long-winded video. All right, so I got Mojo here, obviously dead center. And he's joined by a variety of the other figures, or statues, I should say, that I've done in this line. So as you can see how they scale, and obviously these things just look amazing. He's not quite as big as Soren, and he's not quite as big as Apocalypse Deluxe, but he definitely does show his size when you show him up to things like Logan and Rogue. So here is Soren, and I have unboxed all these on the channel as well if you guys do want to get closer looks at them. So we've got Sauron, we've got Mojo, we've got Rogue. Kind of just showing you guys how they all scale together. We've got Logan, and we've got the giant Apocalypse Deluxe Edition. So again, you can see kind of how he fits into kind of the grand scheme of things size-wise. He does have a very large base and a kind of large body, but when you put him up against something like Sauron just for his sheer height, or Apocalypse for the height and the just sheer size, he's up there. I think he's close to. I would have brought Juggernaut down, but as you can see, that the table only had so much space, so I decided to show you guys a couple of the smaller X-Men figures, or statues, I should say, as well. So used to doing so many figures that it's tough to differentiate a lot of the times. But yeah, that's how they look with a whole bunch of different proxy pieces. So he definitely looks really great. Whew. All right, everyone. So that was it for another little bit of a pain in the butt, but not too bad. Unboxing. Like I said, this was Mojo, if you didn't know already, from the Iron Studios X-Men 1/10th Sentinel Battle Diorama. I think I did work myself and hype myself up about how much of a pain this one was going to be. As far as some other ones have gone that were smaller, like Quicksilver, that was a pain in the butt to put together. Once you got it figured out what went where and what plugged where, this was super easy. Granted, they should probably in the instruction manual have told you like which ones of the legs that had angles cut into them went where, but pretty easy to figure it out once. I mean, it did take a little bit of time to figure out how to wiggle them in, but once I did that, everything else just pop, went in super easy. So really, the only pain of this was the initial getting his peg down into that base, because there was some resistance at first, and figuring out which order these legs went in, especially when the instructions to put in 4 legs, and one of them was already attached to Mojo out of the box. And again, this was brand new. This was sealed directly from Iron Studios, so it's not like this was an aftermarket one that they left assembled. So probably just some kind of an error in their manual. But as for this, holy crap. This is not a piece I even remotely cared to get. Just like in a previous video where I did Havoc. Havoc I really didn't care too much about. I didn't really dig that costume specifically for him. And I ended up loving that piece. Same thing with Forge. Forge was always just kind of one of those characters that was like, okay, he's their tech geek and he's got guns. Do I really need him? Don't know. But when I unboxed him, holy crap, he impressed the hell out of me. Mojo is a completely different story. I've always been a fan of him in like the animated series and stuff like that because he was so wacky and disgusting. But I didn't feel the need to have a statue of him really. But now that I do, and I've got him here like in person, and like I said, I've shown you guys pretty detailed views of him, I can't see this collection without Mojo, because it's just, this thing is an eye catcher. Whether it's because of holy crap, look at this thing, or oh my god, what is that thing? It has both those factors. I think this, while he is not one of my favorite characters, he's not one of my favorite X-Men villains. I've pretty much unboxed all my favorite X-Men villains so far. He's beyond impressive with what they've done here. And I cannot applaud Iron Studios enough for how fantastic this came out. Again, for another character that I really didn't care too much to get. Man, he just looks awesome. My only thing now is, as far as our announcements have gone, we've gotten Spiral, who I'm going to be doing next on the channel. We don't get Longshot. So if we've got Spiral and we've got Mojo, we need Longshot. And again, he's another character that's kind of one of those ones like, do I really care about him? But you got to complete the set. Just like we need our Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. We've got Magneto, we've got Pyro, we need Avalanche, and we need Toad. So I do hope they continue this line. I know we've gotten Mr. Sinister announced, and I am so excited for Sinister. But they are also moving on to another line, which is, I believe, the Infinity Gauntlet. So we're going to have a variety of heroes and Thanos. So my hope is that we're going to keep getting the Sentinel line with more X-Men added. And they're going to start doing their Secret War, or their Infinity War one, or Infinity Gauntlet one, whichever series it is. It's Infinity. Hopefully we keep seeing more quality like this, because holy crap, the way they have nailed both the animated and the cartoon, or the comic book aesthetic of these figures is chef's freaking kiss. They are so good. This line is probably one of the most amazing lines I've ever seen, and it makes me so hyped now for everything we see from it. Again, there are some characters I do want to see. I want to see Shatterstar from X-Force. I want to see Polaris because we have Havoc. I definitely want to see, these other proxy characters like Toad and Avalanche. But are we going to get them? Don't know. There's a bunch of other X-Men I'd like to see as well. But we're now also getting Old Man Logan. So they are still putting out pieces for this diorama. So it does have me a little hopeful that it will continue. I know we're getting an Age of Apocalypse line as well. I'm not too excited about that one because the Apocalypse is not much bigger than the one from the Sentinel, and he's about 3 times the price. Not a fan of that. I think that's a little excessive. I think $1,100 for the Apocalypse from Age of Apocalypse, a little too excessive when we have a really badass standard, like normal universe, 616 universe Apocalypse. So for like $390. So I don't know. Again, the Age of Apocalypse line, I love the story, but I'm probably going to skip that line and just continue with this and the Infinity line. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll start, being able to make more of a career out of this before before those lines release. But we shall see. For right now, I'm gonna say whether you're a fan of Mojo or not, if you're on the fence on this, I'm gonna say buy it. And this thing, honestly, this is a 9 out of 10. This is almost a 10. This thing is freaking amazing. He's right up there with all my top ones so far. Apocalypse, Omega Red, Sauron. He's up there with all my favorites. While he's not a favorite character of mine, this piece is right up there. The quality is amazing. The attention to detail, again, Iron Studios kills it with these, and I cannot wait to do more. So, again, I'm going to apologize for the long video. You can see why this is a little bit longer. And I literally want to tell you guys how much I appreciate this piece now that I've got it in hand. I'm happy I finally unboxed it after weeks of holding off. And yeah, I love it. I just got to find a spot for it now with all my other X-Men because he takes up a lot of retail space here. So with that, I'm going to say, check out Mojo if you got the room for it, because he is big. But if it comes down to something like him, a Juggernaut, or him, an Apocalypse, I'm going to say get him last. Just my 2 cents. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got a little bit of a laugh at me trying to figure things out. And whatever doesn't get cut. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys liked checking out Mojo. Hope I gave you enough details here on this piece to kind of judge for yourself if you want to pick them up or not. Again, if you guys like this video, click all the usuals, the like, the sub, the share button, support the channel, spread the nerdiness. It just helps get me back into the algorithm because I think after my last anime girl statue, my algorithm got kind of gimped. So trying to bring back a little body positivity over here, get me back in the algorithm. But yeah, follow me on all the socials, pretty much everywhere now. Linktree down in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.